To now introduce our next session titled AI Value Creation, a view across aisles. In this session, we will explore the profound impact of artificial intelligence on value creation across various sectors. Our keynote speaker for this session, Mr. Vijay K Narayanan, could not join us and has shared his keynote video, requesting the tech team to please have the video rolling.
Hello, I'm Vijay Narayanan. I'm a partner and fellow at Fellows Fund, an early-stage investment fund focusing on AI, data, and Web3 technologies. Earlier, I served as the first chief AI officer at ServiceNow, an enterprise SaaS company, and even earlier, held technical leadership roles at Pinterest, Microsoft, and Yahoo Labs. I'm very excited today to be here at this DeepTech Summit on AI and cloud. And I want to thank you for this opportunity to share some of my perspectives on how and where AI creates value. And let me share my screen. Okay. On how AI can create value. This is based on my experience in operating roles over the last 20 years in companies both in enterprise and consumer domains, and more recently investing in AI companies as part of Fellows Fund. I believe we are now in the third generation of AI. The first generation mostly focused on classical machine learning techniques. So techniques like regressions, decision trees, etc., that learned from structured data, mostly in databases, small volumes. The second generation was born with breakthroughs in neural networks about a decade ago, which enabled us to go beyond structured data and also understand unstructured data like text, images, videos, audios, etc. Today, we are in the third generation of AI. The current generation is the generation of generative AI and foundation models. This technology not only enables us to understand content, but for the first time, generate content similar to that found in its training data itself. So what does this evolution, being in the current generation of AI, really enable for us? What value does it create? Before we understand what value it creates, let's first look at what does this generation of AI enable today, right? We have the three generations of AI. What can we do with it today? Well, first of all, this AI enables both assistive and automation of a lot of the tasks and work that we do in our day-to-day lives, whether in professional or personal lives. This really leads to higher productivity and less mundane work, as we will see shortly. Secondly, this new generation of AI, especially driven by generative AI, it really helps amplify human creativity. It really helps us to iterate much faster on newer designs, newer hypotheses, newer ideas, and do them at a much faster pace and also at a cheaper cost. Third, it enables interactions between humans, better interactions between humans, as well as between humans and systems in our own human natural language. And finally, it's enabling the fifth paradigm of science, where AI and high throughput experiments are combined together to accelerate the scientific process of coming up with hypotheses, testing the hypothesis, and iterating faster till you come up with better products, better ideas, better products, deeper scientific innovation. First, let's look at automation and assistive AI, which is really about higher productivity and less mundane work for all. So we as humans will have more time to focus on other pursuits that can leverage our unique creativity. So when looking at this, when looking at the tasks we do, it helps to think about it along a few different attributes. Here, I thought about it. I mapped them into two dimensions. One is around tasks that require more domain expertise and less domain expertise, and tasks that are in terms of degrees of complexity, right? Going from low complexity tasks at the bottom to high complexity tasks at the top. There are, of course, other dimensions like variability, repetitive nature of the tasks, etc., that we all do on a day-to-day basis. For instance, tasks like first or second level customer support in an enterprise, curating content in different topics, these are all fairly low complexity tasks, and they require some domain expertise, but not a lot, but not a whole lot. These are the sorts of tasks that I believe can be fully automated using AI. Second, in the top left quadrant, we have tasks like digital marketing campaign optimization, things like personalizing content, ads, products, etc. in consumer application, things like fraud detection, generating marketing copies or technical blogs, etc. So these are all, today, we can build systems that can learn from the environment and get better and better over time in these tasks. So these tasks are what I would call as autonomous tasks, where we can build systems that learn from the environment and get progressively better in accomplishing those tasks. In the bottom right quadrant, we have examples of some tasks that need more domain expertise, but are still fairly easy to do. So things like doing deep research on the web for some legal cases, or information research and synthesis for patents, or looking at content to put together some financial analysis, for instance, or even higher level support, customer support like L3 and L3 plus customer support. This is the class of tasks where I believe AI will be acting as assistants. And finally, the top right are the types of tasks that we normally call as knowledge work that require very good domain expertise, deep domain expertise, and are also fairly complex. These are the tasks I believe are great candidates for assistive agents built by generative AI. The second category of AI applications is the use of generative AI to amplify creativity. This really enables us, generative AI enables us to iterate on ideas and designs faster and converge on better ideas and cheaper designs at a much faster pace. And equally importantly, with both text and image prompting to condition these generated outputs, it even helps to narrow down to good designs that can meet some requirements or constraints. Here is, for instance, an example of an app, a consumer app called Gamma, that's using AI to generate both content as well as designs for storytelling. Gamma is this really innovative new medium that makes it easy to present ideas and storytelling using generative AI. Here, it starts with a prompt and uses Gen AI to create a draft of the content. It even uses AI for formatting, for coming up with designs, to iterate on various types of designs. And very interestingly, the content and the design itself can be edited using an interactive chat interface to create a very custom storytelling deck. You can even reformat and change the visualizations in an interactive manner. And all this, you can do this using just plain natural language. Gamma is a very highly innovative startup that we had invested in about a year ago. And they made extremely rapid progress over the last 12 months, gaining a lot of adoption and usage and growing in revenue as well. This is an example where generative AI is really helping us be very creative in how we can tell powerful stories. Next, the third category that AI enables is really great interactions between humans and machines through natural language. Till now, when we as humans interacted with machines, it's almost always been through programming languages, structured programming languages. AI, generative AI, for the first time breaks that barrier and makes everybody who can converse in natural language naturally become great developers as well. And finally, I believe AI is enabling the fifth paradigm of science and discovery, where AI and high throughput experiments that provide data on success and failures are being driven in a loop to generate and test hypotheses, to validate them using experiments, and take those learnings to improve the quality of to then retrain the AI systems to improve the quality of the suggestions, the hypothesis put out by the AI itself. Closed loop systems like this with machine learning in the loop, they used to be set up in a lot of consumer type companies, like companies that do things like recommending content, personalizing content, recommending ads, etc. And we are now starting to see the growth of these closed loop systems with AI that are driving scientific discovery and innovation in a number of other areas as well. Already we are seeing applications of AI even to improve some well-known algorithms. It's used in the designs of chips. It's being used to solve differential equations very fast. It yields much faster forecasting for weather. It's being used in life sciences to design small molecules, proteins, antibodies, etc. It's even used to design new materials for things like storing energy in batteries. So we are now seeing the building of this third generation of AI, and there is a new stack that is emerging for this generation. This AI startup ecosystem is growing rapidly, and this ecosystem is building on an operating system, on an AI operating system layer that's developing. It comprises of compute hardware, predominantly GPUs, but also TPUs and some cloud services. There are new frameworks, AI frameworks and tools that are getting developed very fast. And very importantly, crucially, there is a third pillar, namely data. There are large open domain data sets that are now coming online. So things like Leon, Pile, C4, Dolma, etc., Red Pajama. On top of these are the open domain foundation models. So things like GPT models, the Gemini models, Claude from Anthropic, Palm from Google, Llama models from Meta, Dolly from Databricks, Red Pajama from Together, and there's a whole host of these models. Then there are more domain-specific data sets. So data sets like, for instance, finance data sets that Bloomberg has used to build their own GPT models. Data sets like Star Coder, which is really enabling the generation of text-to-code models in the open source. Data for in domains like physics, chemistry, biology, etc., are all becoming very, very rapidly developed now. Then there is a set of one of the big ecosystem components is the emergence of these development and management tools. So tools like weights and biases, vector databases like Pinecone, Vectara, Chroma, VB8, even agent frameworks like AutoGen, LangChain, CrewAI, LangGraph are all very rapidly evolving just in the last few months. Now, when you go to the next layer, to the top layer, leveraging all of these capabilities, the hardware, the data, the domain models, the domain-specific data sets, and the tools are a set of applications that are starting to come in. Some of these are in the category of chatbots. Many of us are familiar with these things. Some are co-pilots that are really helping us do better jobs in our own tasks, the tasks that we are doing. Some are applications like vertical specific applications like Tascade that uses AI for project management, Diffuse Bio that I mentioned earlier, Truevent that is looking at accounting and financing, Kyber that's looking at generative AI in the insurance industry. And finally, very recently, there's a lot of exciting innovation happening in building autonomous agents. Agents that are able to understand the goal, plan towards the goal, do subtasks, and eventually accomplish the goal that you can drive these agents to. So this is a large ecosystem that is emerging just in the last 9 to 12 months. So with that, Thank you for inviting me to this DeepTech Summit on AI and cloud, and the opportunity to share some of my perspectives on where and how AI creates value. And equally, how entrepreneurs, founders, investors, and VCs can help grow this ecosystem around next generation AI. We are very much in the thick of investing in this. We have probably spoken to more than 500 different entrepreneurs just over the last 12 months. We have invested in a little over a dozen of them in this period. And I believe we are just starting right now. It's going to be a great fun ride as we enable AI to really transform our personal and professional lives. Thank you. I greatly appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.